Good evening, everyone. It is 7:30, so we'll go ahead and call this meeting to order. I'd like to welcome the Scouts. Thank you for coming. We appreciate having you here. We'll go ahead and start with an invocation by Pastor Joe Sucral, Youth for Christ. Joe?
God, we just thank you for giving us such a beautiful day today. We appreciate every one of them, Lord, and we know it's a gift from you. God, I thank you for the Boy Scouts that are here tonight, and I want to pray your blessing on each of their lives. Help them as they pursue their badges and they move forward in their scouting program. Bless each of the leaders, and I pray that this would be a great educational time for them tonight as they observe our city government. Thank you, God, that we have the privilege of having an elected government, and thank you for those who are willing to serve. I pray, God, for your blessing on each person and family represented, and I pray for your wisdom and decisions that are made. God, help us to look above and beyond ourselves to know what your will is, and to be willing to follow it as we listen and you guide us. And God, we just pray that you would you'd be with all that goes on tonight, and bless our city, God. Help our city to be a city that looks to you. And I pray this in Jesus' name, amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Ms. Lee?
Here.
Baker? Peterson?
Here.
Lee?
Here.
Harmon? Benedek?
Here.
Ossenbrook?
Here. Okay, again, welcome everyone. I would like to draw your attention, if you don't have a copy of the agenda, there should be one back here on this table in the back row. If I could just draw your attention to the top portion of that. It says the public may address specific agenda items at the pleasure of the mayor. If recognized by the mayor, please state your name and address and limit remarks to 3 minutes or less. Out of respect to city employees, we request that any complaints or criticisms of employees not be aired in the public meeting. Concerns about employees should be brought to the attention of the city administrator or mayor. An individual in violation will be declared out of order. We'll move down to the center. All matters, we'll start with the consent agenda. All matters under consent agenda are considered by the city council to be routine and will be enacted by one motion. Any council member may, however, remove an item from consent by request. Item number 1, approve minutes of regular meeting and leasing corp on February 7th, 2017. Item number 2, place on file ML&W reports for January 2017. Item number 3, place on file treasurer's report for January 2017. Item number 4, approve mayor's appointment of Brock Worrell to the Quality Growth Fund Citizens Review Committee to replace Ty Lucas. Item number 5, approve mayor's appointment of Andrea Cuddy to the Library Advisory Board to replace Kendall Burns. And item number 6, approve application by the North Platte Jaycees for a special designated license on March 18th, 2017 from 6:30 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. at the DNN Event Center, 501 East Walker Road for a roller derby.
Move that we approve items 1 through 6 of the consent agenda.
Motion passes. Regular agenda, item number 7, second reading and action to adopt ordinance number 3962 to rezone certain property from the A1 Transitional Agricultural District to an I1 Light Industrial District located at the intersection of East Phillip Avenue and Bicentennial, and described as a tract of land in the southwest quarter of Section 2, Township 13, North Range 30, west of the 6th p.m., Lincoln County, Nebraska. Yes, please.
An ordinance of the City of North Platte, Lincoln County, Nebraska, rezoning a tract of land in the southwest quarter of Section 2, Township 13 North, Range 30 west of the 6 p.m., Lincoln County, Nebraska. from A1 Transitional Agricultural District to I1 Light Industrial District, repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, providing for the effective date and publication thereof.
I have a question real quick first for Judy, I suppose is who it would go to. Judy, has there been any public comment back to your offices or that you know of, email, verbal, walk-ins, any kind to the landowners, whatever?
There was one gentleman that came in and requested some information. I provided the same information that you have in front of you to him. Other than that, I have had nothing.
So just a request for information, that's it?
Yep.
Okay.
Andrew, if I may, as a city council member, I have received two contacts from people that live on South Avenue expressing concerns. I think some of them
Can you turn on your microphone, please?
I've received contacts from two residents in that area, and they expressed concern about this and had questions about it, and they live on South York Avenue. It is close proximity to that southeast area on Phillip Avenue, and they've expressed concern. I provided them with some information and trying to clarify, but there has been some people expressing concern, yes.
Would it be wrong to give the developers a chance to address this at the
I don't have a,
public hearing?
I wouldn't have a problem, this is not a public hearing, but I certainly wouldn't have a problem listening to anyone that wishes to speak, but maybe we should figure out if we're gonna, make a motion on this, or do you wanna
The motion doesn't
continue?
have to be made until later. Once it's been brought up, it's eligible to be talked about, but
Actually, Robert's rules generally require a motion and a second before discussion.
So if one would be so kind as to make a motion, I would truly appreciate it. I will make that motion.
A second one.
Okay. Now we can open up for discussion. Oh, wait a minute. Is there any discussion, further discussion? I guess we've already started.
Yes.
Attached to this application, there is a diagram and some information about a proposed crematorium.
Yes.
But as far as this concerned, we're not even at that level. This is simply to change the zoning in this area from A1, is that right?
It is simply to change the zoning. That is what's on the table in front of you, is to change the zoning. In that zoning, if the developer wishes to create a crematorium from that point, then it would be a project that could be completed in an I-1 district.
And then he would have to make, or they would have to make an application, get a building permit, and do the other things for that to be approved, is that correct?
That would be correct, yes.
This is just a preliminary step?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, any other questions? Okay, there is a motion and a second. There we go. That's right. Did you prove this is for second reading?
I didn't say anything.
Should be for second reading.
Second reading?
Yes, it's for second reading. Thank you. And that motion passes. Okay, item number 8, approve a cooperative services agreement between the City of North Platte and the United States Department of Agriculture relating to pigeon control.
I move that we approve cooperative service agreement between the City of North Platte and the United States Department of Agriculture relating to pigeon control.
Do we have a second yet?
A second.
Okay, now you can ask a question. Please.
I just didn't want to get, railroaded. Question is, I guess, I haven't seen any real updates brought to us over the last year since we did this. Maybe I'm just missing it, but kind of, is there anybody that can speak from USDA as to their success or failures, or what's going on?
There isn't here tonight, and the local person is not the person who can give that update. He's gotta go through his public information officer. And, the information that he gave Job there for his story in the newspaper is probably the most recent thing that we have. But I do know that he is doing a lot of good around the community in the numbers that he's taking out. I would also suggest to you that over the last couple of weeks, I've had a couple of other businesses call me and encourage us to continue this program, even to the point where they said that they would be willing to help us pay for it if that was necessary.
Well, another thing I wanted to ask that person, I guess, is because I did have one downtown business that did mention to me the fact that they had pigeons dying slowly in front of their businesses. I assume from the poisoning that they put out there, if not because they had whatever, but, I just kind of wanted to ask them about that because they did mention that they had some pigeons that were falling and dying slowly on their sidewalks as well.
Yeah, and what I was told, Andrew, was that they have not poisoned any birds to this point. They've relied on trapping, and in a couple of cases, used their air rifles, but I don't believe they're using any poison.
Okay, because I know they had discussed that potential of using that, so, okay. Are they gonna be able to actually get us an update at some point?
Yeah, I'm sure that if we get a hold of Luke Peoples, he's the local guy there, but like I say, when Job and I were trying to get some information there, he referred us to their public information officer in Lincoln, so we're gonna have to get them out here.
Okay, thanks.
I have a question. I don't know, is this the appropriate time to, is there any way to modify this contract, some of the language in there?
You can suggest that.
Because the,
You need to turn on your microphone.
item 3 of that agreement speaks to reports, and it says periodically. Periodically is this really nebulous term, and I'd like to define that a little more, maybe on a semi-annual report at least.
We can make that suggestion. I'm sure they're willing to do it, Martin.
But I'd like to see that run so that I don't have to pick up the paper to hear it.
The motion on the floor is to
Yeah,
approve the.
I would like to amend my motion if the second will allow it.
Yes.
We can amend it
Well,
to,
what you,
we can amend it to say pending, that, right?
yeah, you don't actually need the
We don't need to amend it.
permission of the second. You can move to amend in the following manner and state your suggested amendment. And if you get a second to that, then you'll have a motion to amend with a second. That'll be voted on.
Then we'll be voting on the amendment to the
Yes.
motion, correct? Okay. So I'd make a motion that we would amend section 3 of the report section requesting a semi-annual report to the city of North Platte.
That's a motion to amend the primary motion.
Correct.
I'll second.
So we're voting on the amendment.
Yes.
Yes.
And that motion passes.
With that, the primary motion is on the floor as amended.
And that motion passes as well. Okay, item number 9. Let's see. Adopt resolution to approve the 1 and 6 road plan for 2017 through 2022.
Move that we adopt.
Is that number 9?
Oh, sorry. Yes, I did, didn't I? Item number 9, adopt resolution Nebraska Line Days Parade in accordance with Nebraska Department of Roads permission requirements.
I make the motion that we adopt the resolution for Nebraska Line Days Parade in accordance with Nebraska Department of Roads permission requirements.
I would second that.
Got a question on that one too, if possible.
Sure.
My quick question is, are they looking at doing this again because of road construction issues, or are they looking at doing it for a permanent basis? Is there someone that can speak to intent, I guess? As it does, disrupt the corridor in North
Well,
Platte?
we adopt this resolution annually for their benefit because they want to absolve the state of any liability, and one of the ways they're doing that is having us pass this resolution. Doug can speak to the legalities of the thing, but they require us to use the parade route that we have, which includes some of the highway system, to adopt a resolution with the stipulations that are specified in that resolution in order to satisfy their requirements to allow us to use the highway system.
They won't permit you on their highway,
Yeah.
without this.
That wasn't my
But-
question. My
but I
question
think-
was the intent about the parade routes that they've suggested.
Right. Your question there, Andrew, is that we're requesting this at the request, if you will, of Nebraska Land Days. So I guess.
My question was really to them, but I don't see anyone really from Nebraska Land Days here to talk about their own issue.
I think the parade route is intended to be the same as last year. That's what we understand.
And my question was about the permanency versus,
Oh, if that's gonna stay that way, that would be up to
That's
them.
made on an annual
yeah,
basis.
that's an annual thing that they just determine, yeah.
okay, so how would people of the public make comments? Do they need to contact their office then?
Yeah, I
And-
would say, wouldn't you think, Jim, the Nebraska Land Days office?
Yeah, if they have concerns about that parade route, truly, they should be directed to Nebraska Land Days.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
And that motion passes. Now we'll go to number 10, adopt a resolution to approve the 1 and 6 road plan for 2017 and 2022, through
That-
2022.
I'd move that we adopt a resolution to approve the 1 and 6 road plan for 2017-2022.
Yes, sir.
Quick question. I didn't even know that you guys had had your preliminary meetings on that, to be honest with you. Is there a way we can get notified beforehand when you guys do your preliminary meetings for the
Well,
public?
yeah, it was a public hearing and advertised as such, I guess.
But I didn't even
what
know it happened.
We should have done is thrown it in your boxes, at the office, at the city hall. We didn't have very many people attend, frankly, and it was a little disappointing, but we did have a public hearing, and it was for the purpose of soliciting public comment, and I'm certain we'd still receive that.
Were any
Like
notices
it's
sent
supposed-
out to the media?
I'm sorry?
Were any notices
Yes,
sent out to the
yeah,
media?
Yeah, they always are, yeah.
Okay, because I know that, inside City Hall and inside the library, and I forget the other spot where we put it.
Right.
It's one of the state's requirements that you
Yeah.
publish it in the newspaper.
Yeah.
In their little section
Yeah.
with the box of a million other things.
Yeah.
Not real great advertising there.
Right.
But I was just kind of curious because I didn't even know that we had them, and so I imagine most of the public didn't know we even had those
Yeah,
yet.
We have it every year annually, about early part of February is when it usually occurs.
Okay, thanks.
You bet.
And that motion passes. Item number 11, adopt grant resolution for the North Platte Public Transit Operational Funds to begin July 1st, 2017.
I move that we adopt grant resolution for the North Platte Public Transit Operational Funds to begin July 1st, 2017.
That motion passes. Item number 12, adopt a resolution to purchase two 12-passenger buses with wheelchair lifts.
I move that we adopt a resolution to purchase two 12-passenger buses with wheelchair lifts.
That motion passes. Item number 13, adopt a resolution providing the designation of First State Bank as warrant leader, authorizing the execution of delivery of a warrant purchase agreement with such designated warrant lender, and referring to and incorporating the terms and conditions of ordinance number 3874 relating to a warrant financing.
I move that we adopt a resolution providing for the designation of First State Bank as a warrant lender, authorizing the execution and delivery of a warrant purchase agreement with such designated warrant lender and referring to and incorporating the terms and conditions of ordinance number 3874 relating to warrant financing.
Second.
Motion passes. Item number 14, adopt a resolution approving claims and authorizing the issuance of warrants to First State Bank in the amounts of $68,450.16 and $74,204.86 to pay approved claims and referring to and incorporating the terms and condition of ordinance number 3874 relating to warrant financing passed and approved on May 21st, 2013.
I move that we adopt a resolution approving claims and authorizing the issuance of warrants to First State Bank in the amounts of $68,450.16 and $74,204.86 to pay approved claims and referring to and incorporating the terms and conditions of ordinance number 3874 relating to warrants financing passed and approved on May 21st of 2013.
Second.
Motion passes. And item number 15, claims.
Move that we pay those claims.
And that passes as well.
Motion to adjourn? Second?
Did I hear a second? Thank you, everyone.